everybody. It's pretty easy to become mired in negative thoughts and emotions, especially during these turbulent times and then over the holidays as well. So for many people, one negative thought can quickly trigger an avalanche of negativity that seems difficult to overcome. Life coach Sean McCormick is here with a way to reprogram those negative thought patterns and let the happiness flow in once more. This is such a good lesson for everybody. And applies even to kids, right? We can teach them, talk to them about how to handle these thoughts.
Absolutely. It's the type of thing that life coaching, mental frameworks, mental practices is something that we're not taught in school. It's not. It's not.
We should be.
Absolutely, we should. Like, we all experience wide ranges of emotions, and if we're not given tools to deal with those emotions, then they just sort of grow and they get bigger, and we go through our whole lives without the tools to kind of work through that stuff.
Right. You have talked with and helped lots and lots of people, athletes, others. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So I, as a life coach, I really, it's my purpose to help people, and anybody and everybody. And I've worked with some local pro athletes. I've worked with other pro athletes in other parts of the country, entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders. I'm big into entrepreneurship and tech. And I'm also speaking at the DECA Fall Leadership Conference for high school marketing.
Love DECA?
Yeah, right. Were you a DECA in high school?
I was not, but my son was.
Yeah. So I'm speaking on Sunday actually as part of that too. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their own stuff that they're trying to work through to be better and happier people, and we can all learn a thing or two about how to go about doing that.
A lot of people will think somebody makes me mad, or this happened to me and I had this feeling, as though there's no choice about it. And maybe there's not a choice about that initial feeling, but there's a choice about how we react to it, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's where we're trying to learn, is put a little grace space in there so that we can figure out what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to choose how we respond. Suffering is optional, right? Like, we choose how we show up in the world. We get to choose how we let other people influence us. And it takes work. It takes a little bit of practice to learn the tools to decide how you're going to feel in any sort of tense situation. We all have tense situations at work or with family, especially the holidays. And if you get easily triggered and you shut off and you close off, then that affects the whole rest of your life. And there are little tricks and there are frameworks that you can use, that you can employ to okay, I choose to not be offended by that comment. I choose to move gracefully through the world. I choose to take that and learn from it. So. Yeah.
But you got to work at it, and you give us kind of an easy 4-step process to take ourselves from point A to point B. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So this is called the STOP method.
Stop!
Stop!
Stop it!
Stop it! And that's part of what you do. So it's really 4 steps, and I invite everybody to go back and watch this. And this is how the technique works. So it's 4 parts. The first part is to actually feel the negative feeling that you don't want. And that sounds counterintuitive, but if you're feeling anxious or stressed out or angry, that's a non-productive feeling. It's a non-productive emotion. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go there. You're going to actually get into that state where you're feeling angry, and you're going to allow yourself to feel it, and then you're going to say, stop. You're going to do this thing called a pattern interrupt. So you're literally going to stop yourself from feeling that emotion, and then you're going to stand up. Okay. Take a breath, and then literally allow that feeling to be interrupted. And I'm gonna sit back down. And then after you've interrupted that pattern, you're going to replace it with a productive emotion. Gratitude is huge. Gratitude is a massively powerful, transformational emotion that you can put in place of the negative emotion that you have. Okay. And then after that, then you celebrate it. You teach your central nervous system to hey, way to go. You prefer, this is a productive feeling. Instead of feeling anger, you stop it, you interrupt it, stand up, take a breath, and then you replace it with an emotion that is productive, that feels good, like gratitude or love. And you can do this work beforehand. And then after that, then you celebrate. And the celebrate can be this thing. I mean, you can
shut the door, have a dance party in your office, whatever you need to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's silly. And it's goofy, but it's not sillier than the negative emotion that you had beforehand.
Right.
You have to. So as you teach your central nervous system, hey, I just did something good, do a little shimmy shake, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'll do that again. So you can literally, so the way that this will go is you'll do this 10 times in a row. Do this at nighttime, you know, when things are quiet, where you can have an ability to focus. Whatever that emotion is that you keep feeling that's not productive to you, go there, feel it, say stop, interrupt it, as the camera goes like this.
Sorry, sorry about that.
So then you'll stop it, then you'll replace it with that positive emotion, and then celebrate it. And then after you do that 10 times, by about the 5th or 6th time, it's kind of hard to summon that negative feeling. And this is something that all of us can do. And it's really simple, but if you practice it, you will find over a very short period of time, oh my gosh, like I feel less angry. If my anger was at a 10 before I started this, it's now at a 2. And as you condition yourself, you can be happier and you can be less at, like you said, the sort of whim of your emotional response.
Right, you're not just being blown around in the wind. You're in control of this. And that actually has some sort of effect on our brains, right? I mean, instead of this just building and building, the interruption actually allows us to start rewiring, rebooting.
Yeah.
Gaining control.
Absolutely. You're exercising that neural connection, that pathway in your brain to condition yourself with practice to interrupt that negative chain of events. Right. And yeah, it's just like exercising. You're practicing doing something productive. You're moving a muscle, you're exercising that muscle. And it doesn't take long, but it does take quiet and focus to get to that point. But yeah, and you can do that with anything. And this is just one technique of a bunch of techniques that I have and really good life coaches have to help people just be more productive in their lives. How do we
find you online? How do we learn more?
Yeah, you can go to my website. It's SeanMcCormick.org, S-E-A-N, McCormick, like McCormick and Schmick's. Not related.
Ooh,
not related.
I know. Made me hungry.
Not related. So yeah, you can find me online. You can send me an email, Sean@SeanMcCormick.org, and we can have a conversation. I'm here to help people. I want to help people.
Awesome.
That's my thing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so still ahead today, how volunteering can impact a lot of lives, including your own. It's good for you. We'll talk about that after this.